I walk out of the house, go next door, and boom, there's the cherry picker. The first job I've got to do today is I've got to put a cowl on the chimney of next door. We've actually bought next door to rent it out. We thought it might be good considering we've got some pretty annoying neighbours on the other side. We had a little bit of money, so we bought next door when it came up for sale in the hope that we might be able to choose better neighbours for ourselves. But the tenants are moving in today. I've got a few snagging jobs to do here, so that's the first thing I'm going to do this morning, including put up this pole, and then I'm going to be going around Nottingham to do a few other bits. So stick around and I'll show you what I get up to. Here's something they probably teach you at door hanging school, but I never went to door hanging school. Don't plane right towards the edge, be careful, because you end up flicking a corner of the door off. Whoops. There we go. That will do. And sticking stuff straight to the wall, and you need instant grab. There is only one adhesive for the job. CT1. The greatest product that man has invented. Watch. So you've got a hole there, you need to cover it up, a little DIY trick. Get yourself a nice mirror.
Nice and off centre.
Get there?
Yeah, that'll do it, yeah.
Now, come on CT1. Abra. Cadabra.
It's slipping down.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You have to hold it a minute.
Right, well, it's not meant to do that.
Show us what you got. Okay, go on then.
Like
go on.
International Rescue. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. There we go. Ta-da!
Are you in your gym jams?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I be?
Because it's a school day. Right, okay. Where's this going then?
Wait, I'm like...
Yeah.
Why did you not put the other one like that?
Because we're covering a hole, and by sticking that there, nobody will ever know that the hole is there. Okay?
Why won't they ever know?
Because there's a mirror stuck over it.
Stuck over it with what though?
Currently, parcel tape. While I have got some CT1 and in my pocket Rapunzel, I'm going to stick Rapunzel to the top of this cowl. He's going to make me and my daughter smile every time we walk past it. There she is. She's going to be queen of the castle. Another job I've been asked to do is to install this door back here, but it's easier said than done because I think the last owners must have put the floor on top of another floor, and now this door is a good sort of 10 or 20 mil too big. Let me show you. See? There's at least, what would you say there? I think I'm going to need to take about 10 mil off the bottom of this door. I think I'm going to use the circular saw. No, I am going to use the circular saw. That will do. Last job, put this curtain pole up. And that is all the jobs on the inside of this property done. It's nice and simple. I'll go through this. Let's get the cherry picker off, let's put this cowl on, and then let's go and do some proper paid work. Very quick story about sticking things on top of a chimney. So, my mum went on holiday to Cuba or Africa or somewhere, and she brought me back a naked woman wooden figurine. Not only was this woman naked, but she was hideously ugly. It was the ugliest ornament you'd ever seen in your life. It must have been about this big. Not knowing what to do with this ornament, I decided it'd be quite funny to stick it to the roof bars of my wife's van when she hadn't noticed, so that she could drive around with a naked woman on top of her van for a while. Unfortunately, while I was in the act of sticking it to the top of the roof racks using wire, her sister saw me doing it and she went running into the house and snitch bagged on me, because she's a proper snitch bag. So, not knowing what to do with this ornament, and because she'd snitch bagged on me, I decided I would go, when she was at work, round to my sister-in-law's house and attach it to her chimney cowl, which I did. It was there for about 3 months before she noticed, and when she did notice, she threw a proper wobbler. She rang up, she's like, "Daddy, you better get round to my house right now and take this thing off my roof." In tears she was, in tears. Bear with me one sec. The next thing I know, I'd got the mother-in-law on the phone. Daniel? Nobody calls me Daniel except for my grandmother. Not even my mother calls me Daniel. Daniel, Lucy's very upset. I think you need to go round and take that thing off her chimney. Well, I don't know what happened to that ornament after that, but it still makes me smile every time I think of it. Up there for months, she never noticed. I'll tell you what we are going to have to do. We're going to have to come up here in the future, not too distant future. We're going to take this this flaunching off, and we're going to have to redo it, because this flaunching is not very good. It's not very good on my side, to be honest. It's better, but still not great. So that is a job for the future. There's the wife, look, grinning at me. Check that out. Definite job for the future there. Not too distant future, this summer sometime. I've left and I'm on the road. I've got a busy day ahead, so I will check back with you when I reach the next destination. Stay tuned. I have arrived at the next job, and it is a chimney liner drop for a regular customer, Jed from the fireplace fitter. It's a big old building, this one, and I've got to take the machine round the back. So let's get on with that, because we've got lots to do today. Oh, would you look at that? I've been driving around, these tools in the back. Look at that. Lucky not to have lost anything. That's it, the cowl is installed, the line has been dropped, secured into place with a Jubilee clip. Now we're just going to get the machine out of here and go to the next job. Simple. My next job is to meet up with a Sparky who is installing floodlights at a block of flats for the residents, probably in the car park. I understand there's only a couple to do, so this job shouldn't take as long, but I'm running a little bit late, so I'm hurrying over there to get to him as quickly as possible. I'll check in when we get there. You might recognise this place from a recent video. We are back changing light fittings in a place that I was only here, well, maybe 2 weeks ago, but apparently the wholesaler has sent the wrong fittings, so we've got to change them. Keeps me out of trouble, doesn't it? So I've got another problem with the machine. It's a problem that I had recently with a little diode in here that's supposed to rev the machine up when you perform a function. I had the diode switched recently, but it stopped working properly again. Let me show you. So on the controller here, if I perform a function, it kills the machine. Look. Can you hear how the machine's not revving up? Well, it's supposed to. And it's supposed to, let me turn you around, it's supposed to with this. And that's supposed to automatically rev up when you perform a function. But at the moment, because it's not doing that, I have to keep it on high revs constantly using this cable tie. Now this is quite annoying because it means I can't really turn the machine off when I'm in the air. I've got to keep it revving high all day long, which is bad for fuel. It can't be good for the machine. But the machine's due for a Lola soon, so I'll get it fixed when we go for the Lola, I imagine. While I am listing the problems with the machine, let me show you another one I'm having at the moment. I have bent this bracket here, which helps stow the fly jib in position. So in transit, the fly jib runs away from this sensor. And if this sensor isn't feeling metal, when you move the machine, it jerks. Let me show you. I'm going to press full bore down on the machine. You see now, it's not moving. It's not moving because the fly jib is not in the sensor. The solution? Now it'll work. That's another thing I'm going to have fixed when the machine goes for a Lola. But this is typical, you know, every 6 months there's always something that needs doing to the machine. Not just to get it through its Lola, just as general maintenance. When you work the machine as hard as I do, things break on it. The job is to replace that floodlight, that one, and that one, which is something we did only a couple of weeks ago, but apparently the sensors on them are wrong. Apparently the wholesaler has sent us the wrong lights, so they all want taking off. Send it back to the wholesaler and we're going to replace them with a different light. Another issue with the machine, it's time to buy a new bubble for the inside of my leveler. See? Might be able to fix it though. See? That's all it takes. The lights have all been changed here now, so what we need to do is see if they flash when they are turned on. They flashed, so that's good. Job's a fish. Machine's stowed, job's finished. Let's go to the next job. This is my last job for today, well, my last physical job with the machine. I'm back in a place where I installed some bird guards on these chimneys a few weeks back, made a little short about it. But while I was here, I noticed that the flaunching on top of the chimney was in very poor condition, so I am back to put a flaunch on that one. It's a nice, simple little job. Hopefully it won't take me too long, and then I can go and do something else that I want to do later. But I'll tell you about that later. It's a warm, sunny day today, so I'm going to go up there. I'm going to clear off the old concrete and the old flaunching, and then I'm going to give it a good thorough wetting down with water to prevent this from cracking. A lot of this flaunch is taking some hammering off and is quite solid, so I'm not going to take all of this flaunch off. What's more important to me is that you get a good seal onto the brickwork to stop any water from getting down underneath the flaunch. So I'm going to take off a good lot of the corners so we can put a new concrete on top of this and plenty onto the brickwork to seal it all around the edge. But other than that, trying to get the bulk of this off, I really don't think is necessary, so I'm not going to do that. I'm happy with that. We can get enough onto the brickwork to seal the brickwork onto the flaunch, and then we'll put a nice layer on top of that to give it a nice fall over to the other side. We'll clean this off with the blower, wet it all down, maybe seal it with some SBR as well, and put a new flaunch on it. just finished applying the flaunch mix and smoothing it off, and this is what it looks like for now. I have done my best to prevent this from cracking, and what I've done to do that is absolutely saturated the brickwork before I put anything down, the brickwork and the flaunch. I also saturated it, I sealed it with SBR bond, went down, make a mix, saturated it again. I put SBR bond in my mix, which I generally find helps prevent it from cracking. I think another thing is worth mentioning about my mix is when it's warm like this, it's very tempting to make the mix wet, thinking, you know, that's going to help. But actually, by making a really wet mix, it tends, I find, to crack more as it dries out. So I've made this as dry as possible, as dry as I can, but still being able to achieve a nice finish. Now I'm going to hang around for half an hour because I don't trust that this won't crack. I'd like to see it in half an hour. I'd like to chuck a load of water on it when it's a bit drier so that I can put water on it without damaging the smooth texture of the finish. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to go and have a look. Hold fire, have a look at that chimney over there, because apparently the chimney liner has dropped. And although I think it's highly unlikely I'll be able to do anything about it today, I could at least have a look to see what's going on. So let's go and do that. Then we'll come back in about half an hour and check that this flaunch hasn't cracked. That's it, I've just wet this down, but there's no cracks on here. I'm happy that that's not going to crack now. So I'll move on. This is the last job of the day, so time to go home. My last job of the day sees me in a different van, heading north up the A1 to Leeds. The reason I'm going to Leeds is because I bought some pressure washing equipment from eBay. I feel as if I've got quite a bit of a bargain. And I'll tell you the reason why I bought it. Through the months of roughly September to February, when it's wet and miserable, I get inundated with phone calls, people needing me to repair leaks on chimneys and roofs and all kinds of things. And sometimes I can be booked up 2 months in advance, working weekends, working really long days, generally being very busy. It's been about 7 weeks since we've had any significant rainfall, and I'm getting quiet. I've probably got a week's worth of work in front of me, and I'm dragging in jobs that people said, oh, you know, they can wait until you're not busy, etc, etc. I can always find work, and the fact that I'm not very busy at the moment, it happens to me every single year, so I'm not worried. Financially, I'll be okay, but I'm conscious of the fact that I really want to increase what I earn, and the reason for that is I'm trying to put away a bit of money for my pension and for my future. So instead of getting slack for the next 8 weeks, which is what happens every year when we get a bit of sunshine, I have decided that I'm going to try and fill those months and get busy again with a different service, and I'm going to try cleaning roofs. I have been watching various people online offering this service, including a brand new channel by a friend of mine from Wales called Jordan, who is JV Pressure Washing. Go and check out his channel. He's quite new, but he's putting out some excellent content. I'll put a link in here to you. I'm also watching Smouts and going to see Jake soon. He's going to give me some advice. Check out his channel, it's great. But yeah, ultimately I am going to start offering a roof cleaning services in the hope that it'll keep me busy during the quieter summer months. I think I'll also probably end up picking up a bit of roof work off the back of it, because you can always find work on a roof. So there you are, that is why I am currently making my way to Leeds to pick up some pressure washing equipment, which I believe I've scored an absolute bargain with. But until I get there and actually check it out firsthand, I don't know. We shall see. Watch this space. I'll see you in Leeds. I have collected the equipment and I'm heading away from Leeds. I didn't want to start filming actually picking the equipment up. I don't know, I'm a bit self-conscious. I think the man doesn't know me, and if I was to start filming and talking to myself on camera, he might think me a bit of a weirdo, which I am, granted, but you know, I didn't want him to think I was. So I'm on my way back, and I will show you what I've got when I get home. But I'm really chuffed with the equipment that I've got, I think I've got myself an absolute bargain here, and it's perfect for setting up the new arm of my business. So yeah, I'm really excited, and we're going to get back and I'll show you what I've got. And yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing, and looking forward to hopefully start jet washing some roofs and maybe paving. Who knows? Who knows? The world is limitless. So I have got the JCB pressure washer, about 30 meters of hose, various other hose bits, some bits and pieces in here, like various different connectors, rotary hard surface cleaner, a couple of lancers, and some hoses. All of it's about a year old for the bargain price of 500 quid. I know, an absolute steal. And the man himself was a lovely guy, just had a bit of an unfortunate time, which is why he's had to sell it. So I jumped on that as quickly as possible and got myself a bargain. So I'm very pleased with that. A very worthwhile trip to Leeds. And that is the end of my day, really. I haven't got time to do anything else. It's getting late. It's a Friday again. So yeah, I'm going to call it a day. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. If you have, please like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next job. Thanks for watching.